starting now. And I'm going to also present if it will let me. So let me know if you guys can see that because I can't see you anymore.
We see.
Yeah. Excellent. Okay, so everyone, thank you for joining us this morning, this afternoon, this evening, wherever you are. We wanted to hold this session to help you guys set up with your wallet, of course, and have you receive your tokens. An important distinction that may be relevant before we kick off is that we kind of have a sliding deadline for actually sending tokens to people. It has been sliding, but today is the last day for the EXO Lever members. So if you're an EXO Lever member, please do get set up today and send your address and we'll manage that. And if you've been receiving messages from me and you are not a Lever member, you're probably part of Salim's history entourage community network. You have up until August 2nd to send us your receiving address. And at which point on the 3rd, we will send you a test transaction. You'll verify that test transaction, and then we'll send the full allocation to you after that. So I want to kick off. I'm just going to run through the guide and try to highlight some important parts, places where people are getting caught up. I can't see the chat, so please, don't post questions to me there. But what I do recommend is if you're in Discord, and if you're not, please do get there. If you're in Discord, please post your questions in the setup channel, and Kent and Najib will be monitoring that, and then we'll come around to Q&A once I've gone through the guide and cover anything that we've missed, okay? So again, I can't see you unless you tell me that I should stop. I will go forward.
Go.
All right, here we are. So a couple things. This guide is updated regularly, and if you are watching this in the future, the guide may not look the way that it does when you see this recording. But it's updated regularly with feedback from the community and people who are actually going through the process. So many of the questions are answered here if you read and you look carefully. And then again, the team is available to you. So the team is available to you in Discord. It's also a way that you can get connected with the rest of the community, ask questions, get your questions answered by the community. And there's an invite there on that page. There's also a website where we have some pretty basic information, but we are putting a big push on updating that. And then there's also the stats, which Kent, maybe you could speak about a little bit at the end, which I think is really important and very, very cool. What we will do when this recording gets posted is I will add it to this page so that people who are watching this or would like to watch it in the future can follow along with the tutorial. Okay? So installation is the place where most people are getting caught up. It's a bit of a kind of a tricky one. Essentially what you need to do is you need to go to the GitHub releases page, which is linked there. Right now we're working on version 1.0.5. We will launch the next version 1.0.6 soon, and Najib can maybe post in Discord about the target date for that. It's important to remember your operating system when you do this. Many people are getting caught on, they try to install and the application crashes or they get a boot error. Often what that means is your operating system is not supported. So you have an older operating system and you need to update. The supported operating systems are listed on this page. It also could mean that when you downloaded the file, something in the file was corrupt. So if you're getting a boot error, what you may want to try is to just delete and reinstall the application, and that has worked for anyone that I've had that issue with. Okay, it's also important that especially with PC users, even if you're a Mac user and you're using antivirus software, the software will flag it because of the type of software that it is. It's connecting to other it's a network, it's connecting to other nodes. There are a few things about it that it will flag, so you will have to allow it by either changing some of your antivirus software preferences or clicking allow or whatever your interface allows you to do there. And then you will, if you're downloading it into and installing into a Mac, there is a path there that is a specific path you need to follow to actually open the application for the first time. It's very simple. You essentially have to find the application in your Finder, right click, hit open, and then you'll be able to do it from there. And people haven't really had any issue with that so far. So what you'll see once you open the wallet is what's on the page here, the screens. You'll first find that your wallet is out of sync, and it will take some time to sync up. So just allow whatever time is needed for that, and you won't probably see transactions if someone is sending you anything, specifically the test transaction that you'll get from the foundation, from me. You won't see that until your wallet is synced. Okay, so just keep an eye out for this check mark at the bottom, which will always let you know that your wallet is up to date. If your wallet is ever not syncing after a long period of time, it probably means that you're using an old version of the wallet and you need to update to a new version. So we'll try to keep the community informed always of when new versions get launched, and we'll try to make sure that everybody does that installation. Okay, so we'll move on from installation from here. The next most important piece is actually receiving your tokens, and you can go directly from this to this from installation. This is what you need to do to receive your tokens from the EXO Foundation that you're all being gifted. So you need to click on Receive in the left-hand side. You need to hit New Address. You can type a label. I would suggest for this particular gift to type EXO Foundation or EXO Foundation gift, so you know who it came from and why. If you call it your name, or if you call it CivX, then you won't necessarily be able to track who's been sending you what. We definitely recommend to not use the pre-generated address that's in the wallet, just for security reasons. You probably won't run into anything, but it's just a best practice. And we also recommend to generate a new address each time you want to receive tokens, for partially the reason I mentioned, so that you know who's sending you tokens. But it's also for security and anonymity. So if someone has that address and they want to go to the block explorer, which Kent might be able to mention at the end, they could actually look up the balance of that particular address, which essentially each address acts as like a token account, like a bank account, if they knew it was yours, and they'd be able to track that. So it's not a huge deal, but if you want to be secure, if you want to be anonymous in your transactions, we certainly recommend to do that. You don't need to type anything into the address field. You just need to hit OK after you've created the label. And then when you're ready, you can just highlight the correct address that you want to send to someone, copy it, and you just need to paste it either by email or WhatsApp or however you're getting in touch with the person that you want to send, have to receive from. In this case, to receive your token gift, please email civx@exo.team. It's also mentioned earlier in the guide. That's the monitored address for actually receiving token gifts right now. Okay. So, and also a really important thing about receiving tokens is how your tokens are actually linked. It's probably a good time to mention this. One of the things that people are getting caught on is downloading the wallet on 2 computers, opening up the wallet on a second computer and seeing that there's nothing there. And the reason for that is because, unlike when you sign up for a Gmail account or a Facebook account, when you can just go to a second computer and log in with your credentials, you're actually not asked to create any sort of user ID or login when you use this application. The tokens themselves are actually held locally in the wallet file. What's tracked on the blockchain is the data of the transactions that you've made and the balances of your address. So if you lose that file, or if you forget the password to that file, if you've encrypted, and we definitely recommend that you encrypt, your tokens will be lost. You can't log on to another computer and log in and see your tokens there. So that's a really key point, and happy to field questions about that afterwards. your tokens are directly linked to the address in which you received them from, and what gets saved in the backup file or in the wallet file itself is the address and the allocation of tokens at that address each time. Okay. So sending tokens is pretty straightforward, although this slide is a bit busy. Essentially, you go to the send screen from the left-hand side. You will pay in the pay to's where you put someone else's receiving address. You can give it a label. So if I was sending tokens to my dog, I would put my dog's name there, and I would put the amount I want to send, and I need to accept the 2 prompts that come after that, which is, are you sure you want to send this? And this is what the transaction fee is. And please note that if your wallet is either locked or unlocked for staking only, which we'll go through at the end, you will also be prompted to type in your password so that, of course, your tokens are secure and that no one just walking by your wallet could send tokens out. Okay. Encryption is very, very, very important. We use a blockchain to keep things secure, so it would be silly to not encrypt your wallet as you go along. It's not necessary to encrypt your wallet until you actually have something in the wallet. So if someone sends you tokens, that would be the time to create the encryption. You absolutely can create it beforehand if you're expecting tokens or you just want to be proactive. But remember, create a very, very secure password and don't forget your password. Any backup that you create as well will also be encrypted with this password. And you might forget about the backup, and in 2 years you need to restore it. And you need to remember that password because you kept your wallet unlocked for 2 years. No one can retrieve it for you. We can't retrieve lost tokens. We can't retrieve lost passwords. So it's very important that you keep this in your brain or somewhere very, very secure. It is possible to access the public and private keys for more advanced users who understand that part of this. I actually don't know how to do it. I've been told not to try to do it by Najib. And Najib, if you want to put in setup or somewhere, answer questions about that, please go for it. But those public and private keys would also allow you to get access to your tokens beyond the encryption password that you create, okay? So if you see the little lock at the bottom that's open, it means your wallet is unlocked and possibly unencrypted. If your wallet is encrypted but unlocked, encrypted means the file is secure, but unlocked means you can kind of do things in it. Then you will also see that icon there. Sorry. And your passphrase, as I mentioned, if you create one, you can change it later, like any other password. So if you want to, as soon as you get your tokens, create a kind of an easier password and then think about a more complex one in a day or two, you can do that. You can change it. But certainly as soon as you have your tokens, we recommend that you encrypt. Okay. Also, as soon as you have tokens or any time you create a new receiving address, this is very important. It's very, very highly recommended to create a backup. It's also recommended not to hold this backup on the same device, computer, whatever you're using, as the wallet, the original wallet file, the file that you're actually interacting with the wallet application. Because let's say if I drop my computer in the lake and I have no other backups anywhere else, again, I can't access those tokens anymore. There's nobody that can help me get them back. So it's recommended to keep a backup regularly and keep it on a safe USB somewhere away from your main device or however you store files. You can put your files on the cloud. That makes it easier for you to go to another computer, download the wallet file and access your tokens, but it's a much less secure way of holding your tokens because the cloud is less secure. Your file ends up on more devices. Depending on how secure your password is, it makes it easier for someone to potentially hack. So we don't recommend it, but we want you to know it is possible.
Hey Shay.
Yeah.
I just want to add one tiny thing. What's actually stored in the CivX QT wallet are the keys, right? Not the actual tokens, believe it or not. It's the keys to the tokens in the, if you want to think of it like the CivX blockchain cloud, if you like. And so you don't lose your keys. If you lose your keys, you can't get in your house. If you lose your keys, you can't get your tokens. So just pointing that out.
Yes, and importantly, the keys are linked to each particular address that you create. So again, when you save an address, all of that data gets stored along with it. The tokens are like, they're virtual, right? Like, don't imagine that there's really a physical token. There isn't really. Bitcoin doesn't exist, right? It's all just data. So thank you, Kent. That's a very good distinction. So restoring backups, I'm actually not going to review right now because it's hopefully a more future use case that people need to handle, and I think it will need its own video tutorial. But there are some instructions here, and again, the team is very much available, and the community is very much available in Discord to answer questions about this, because they're also going through this, and there are many people who know what they're doing, and they're very willing to help. And we also have staking, which is our sort of last important point here. This is a little bit more technical, but if anyone understands what is proof of work versus proof of stake, our blockchain runs on proof of stake, which essentially means that you can leverage the tokens or bond the tokens in your wallet to provide sort of power or weight to the network to help move the chain forward. So every time you leave your wallet open, unlocked, and connected, you can be staking. And there are some, obviously, screens there that show you how to confirm that you are staking. And this is important because we are a network. This wallet acts as a node. When you actually let your tokens give weight to the network to do the processing that it needs to do of the data, then you can be rewarded for that as well. And that is a necessary part of the health of and the maintenance of this blockchain. So the more distributed and the more people we have actually giving that power, the further the blockchain can go. Okay. Keep in mind that if you happen to put any of your tokens in reserve, which is something you can do in wallet preferences, those tokens will not stake. And it's important to remember that if you happen to have two wallet files, multiple wallet files, that is a higher level preference. It is an application level preference. It's not a file level preference. So if you change your reserve amount and you open up another wallet file, the reserve amount will be whatever you changed it to the last time you had a file open. I've experienced that personally. So that may be above some people's heads, but keep that in mind in case you don't actually want your tokens to stake. In that case, you could also just keep your wallet fully locked. Okay. And then best practices, there are a few, and there are here, and there are tons more, and we are very open to your questions and comments and feedback about what you'd like to see in the guide overall, and here. Importantly, never share your passphrase with anybody. Our team, nobody should ever be asking you for that. Never share your balance publicly. So it's very, it's exciting, and there have been a few people who have posted pictures of transactions or of their balance, and we highly recommend not doing that because it can make you a target. And if you follow what's going on in the world in the blockchain space, crypto space, you can have issues. So we recommend against that. As I mentioned, always have yourself on the latest version of the wallet so that you're always sure you can sync. It also comes with checkpoints, and it also comes with updates and fixes and all that. So it's very important that you're always up to date. And as I've mentioned a number of times, Discord is the best place to ask questions because we've always got someone active there, ready to field whatever's going on with the community. Okay, so I will stop sharing at this point, and I can now see you all again, which is lovely. And wow, there's been lots in the chat. Does someone want to catch me up? Kent or Najib, do you want to tell me where I should go from here? We've got about 5 minutes left.
Yeah, you can.
I hate when that happens. We've answered every question that's gone through the chat, save one so far. The one that we haven't answered is how can you cash out your tokens, which is always an interesting question. Right now, the tokens are for use in the network. Right, it's a service utility token for services within the network. There is no sort of automated marketplace where you can go and trade your CivX tokens for some other form of currency or digital asset today. That is where it is today. So that's the answer, more or less, to that right now. Shay, otherwise, most of the questions, there was about staking, there was about, is this wallet a single currency wallet? It is. CivX QT is not only a CivX only wallet, it is also a full node on the CivX blockchain. And that ties back to staking. When you're running the CivX QT wallet, you're literally a part of the network. You control those funds just like you control your keys. And if you're staking, you're helping to grow the blockchain, extend it, right? Add a block to the chain, the block height gets higher. I posted links for you to the CivX Block Explorer, which you can go and examine any transaction, block ID, all the way back to block 1, which is pretty fun to go look. And then there's a stats page where we show blockchain usage and statistics, and then the main website. And if you have not, please do join the Discord. It is just simply the fastest and best way to get answers to your question in between meetings like this.
Yeah, definitely. And we will start holding more CivX specific community meetings because we are learning, and certainly the community is learning, and there's lots to share, and we learn something new every day. And we are also having many more service providers willing to accept or pay tokens as we go along. And I say that as our EXO Lever ecosystem, which, if anyone isn't aware of what that is our currently group of about 250. By the end of next month, we'll be probably about double that or more. Group of activated sort of members, consultants who participate in projects that we run with the EXO label, so official projects that we run under EXO Works, the Fast Track Institute, EXO Lever itself, which is running more automated programs, and I feel like I've missed one, but I don't think so, actually. Anyway, so those people are willing to take tokens. Many of them, many more are willing every day as the project develops. And each of you, particularly if you're not in Lever or if you're not kind of involved in the transformation services economy, which is we're coining it, you may want to use these tokens to access Lever members for services. So that's what we would certainly recommend. That's what they're there for. So many of you are running amazing, interesting projects, and that's generally how you've come into Salim's world. And we have this membership of really incredible thinkers, thought leaders in different technology areas, exponential technology areas, EXO attributes, industries that will be at your disposal within Lever. And so that marketplace concept is being sort of evolved and added to all the time. And we have very, very crude versions of it so far, but we will be launching more complex versions later this year. And so we're very excited about that.
Can I share my screen real quick for 10 seconds?
Salim, give me 1 second. Just a quick note that, sorry, as I mentioned in the email that you guys got, the invitation, we're going to be having office hours for that Lever group and for some of the broader EXO community happening for basically the next 60 minutes, and you're all welcome to join us for that. So I just want to let you know why you might see people popping into the call now. Okay? Go for it, Salim.
So I just want you guys to see this is the Genesis block of our hash, our blockchain. And if you look at the very bottom there's the Genesis Merkle hash for our Singularity connected folks. That's Ralph Merkle, who is the foundational basis of all cryptocurrencies. So it's kind of like amazing.
Our Genesis date and time was 04/08 at 1600 hours, 32 minutes, and 00 seconds. Salim having a little fun there.
Yes, we're very experimental. We're trying to start on a good foot. I'm going to stop the recording now.